So hi, I haven't made a video in a really long time, and my hair's messy, but it's always messy. So I was like, alright, so I think I'm gonna just, like, tell you guys a story. So, I'm, like, really into, like, paranormal stuff right now. So I watch a lot of YouTubers, like, in their paranormal videos. So I was like, that's a good idea, I think I'm gonna do one. So, I have a few paranormal stories, like, that have happened to me, but I'm gonna tell you guys the most recent one. So, me and my sister had been babysitting, and we had about 4 kids we were babysitting, and my mom went out, and she went with my mom went out with my aunt, and my aunt's boyfriend, and they all went out, and they didn't come home until, like, afternoonish time, so they went out at night, so we were by ourselves at nighttime, and weird stuff was happening, like, we were in the living room watching TV, and the TV just shut off. So we obviously thought that was weird, but then we tried to turn it back on and it wouldn't turn on. So we just were like, oh, maybe the TV's just not working. So we went in our room and we just chilled and we went to bed. So that next day in the morning, we'd gotten up relatively like early. We got up maybe at 9, and we usually wake up at like 1 in the afternoon. So we got up at 9 in the morning. We're making the kids breakfast and stuff. So the kids wanted to watch TV. So we went in the living room and we put the TV on for them, and it was working. So we're all watching TV, and my sister gets a phone call. So she was like, I don't know what this number is. So I was like, answer it. She was like, no. And I was like, I'll answer it, because I always answer the phone for her when she gets weird numbers like that call. And she answers the phone for me when I get weird numbers. So I answered, and I was like, hello? And they were like, I know what you did. And I was like, what do you mean? And they were like, I know what you did. And I was like, what did I do? And then they just were like, I know what you did. So I hung up. It was really weird, and it was a guy, and he was probably, sounded like he was, I don't know, maybe 30s. He was old sounding, like, not but old, like grandpa old, like older. So I'm assuming that make 20s, 30s. So that was weird. So we were sitting on the couch, and maybe 5 minutes passes, and we're like literally, my couch is like this, so there's me, there's a seat in the middle, and then there's another seat, so me, my little cousins, and then my sister. So we were on opposite ends of the couch. So her phone starts ringing again, so I look at her, and I was like, is that the same number? And she was like, no, it was like a different number. It was like, but it, like, from totally different places. Like, the first number was like, this is just like, for an example, like Ohio, and the second number was from like Arizona. So like they were different places. So I was like, so I took the phone, and I was like, hello, and they were like, I can't remember what the next one was about, but they, like, I answered, and they were just doing weird things. So I hung up, and I went to the bathroom, like, at some point, and she got on a phone call when I was in the bathroom. So I obviously wasn't there to answer it, and she didn't answer it. So I remember, so I went back in the living room, and we were sitting on the couch, and my phone rang. So I was like, what the fuck, like, weird. So I answered it, and it was a different number too. It wasn't this, it's not like it was the same number and somebody was just recalling us being weird. It was all different numbers. So I picked up, and I was like, hello, and they were like, it was like this, it was the same thing that the first one said. They were like, I know what you did, or something like that. So I was like, so I kind of just like hung up. I didn't say anything. So later, like, not even like that much longer, like 2 minutes maybe, my sister got a phone call. So I answered, and they were like, you hit my car. They were like, you left this number on my car and said to call you because you hit my car. And me and my sister I was only 13, so this was like I'm 14 now. So this was a few months ago, and so she's 12. So we don't drive cars. So I was like, nope, wrong number type of thing, and none of the voices sounded the same. So my sister was like, oh, maybe it's like ghost or something. I'm like, it's not ghost. I was like, ghost, like, really? And she was like, yeah. And they were like, maybe all the phone calls mean something, and like they're trying to tell us something. And I'm like, can you not say that, like, because then she's gonna scare me. So we ended up getting a notebook, and she like wrote down each call, and like if it was a boy or a girl, and like their message. So she ends up being like way into it. So we literally keep getting phone calls, and this happened all day. We got probably like over 50 phone calls. So some of them were weird. So I remember we were in my room, and we were in the living room with the kids still. So we we're all sitting and we hear a noise. So we're like, and this is a true story. I swear to God on my mom. So we're sitting there and we hear a noise. So I'm like, what was that? So we all get up and because we're all freaked out and we're trying to stay together. So we go in the kitchen and the faucet is on. And it wasn't like when somebody went and turned it on because we were all together. And I'm like, oh my fucking holy fuck, like the faucet's on. It seems like stupid, but it was actually really freaked me out. So I was like, oh, whatever, we shut it off and we went back in the living room. So my brothers and my little cousins, I was like, you guys should just go in the room and play. So they go in the room and they're like, oh, my light won't turn on, my TV won't turn on. I'm like, okay. I was like, this is just fucking creepy. So we all go back in the living room, blah, 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 blah. My aunt ends up coming and getting my cousins, my mom comes home, so we go in my room because we don't have to babysit no more. So we're in the room and my room's really cold. So this was in the summertime, but it was like on like a cooler day. I think it was like raining, so we had the ACs off. So you get in my room and my room is fucking like freezing. And I'm like, why is it so cold in here? And she was like, the AC's on. I'm like, why is the AC on? And she's like, I don't know. And I was like, well, I didn't turn the AC on. Sorry. And she's like, well, neither did I. So that was weird. So we're sitting there and we kept getting phone calls. So we got a phone call from this one lady. She was like really old. And she was like, stop harassing me. She was like scared. She actually sounded really scared. And she was like, stop harassing me. Stop pranking me. It's not funny. Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, what the fuck? We're not pranking you. I was like, you're the one calling us. It wasn't even like we called her. She called us and said that we were pranking her. And I'm like, that makes no sense, sweetheart. Like, nope. So it was really weird. And we kept getting phone calls. I honestly can't remember, like, which one everyone said. But I remember there was another guy who was like, I'm outside, come outside. And we were in the kitchen when we got this one. Because I remember, because I had to do dishes. And she was like, it was a guy, and they were like, I'm outside, come outside. And we looked out the window, and there was no one there. And they were like, yeah, I'm here. And we were like, okay, well, you're not here, blah, 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 blah. And we got another phone call saying that we were leaving notes on someone's door. And they were like, you keep leaving notes on my door. And they were like, you left me this number, stop being creepy. And we were like, we don't know what you're talking about. And they were like, you bothered me for like weeks, now you're gonna play dumb. And I was like, okay. And we got another phone call. Well, she got way more calls than I did on her phone. I got maybe like 5 and she got like 50. So we were in my room, we were chilling on the bed, and it had been a while since we got a phone call. So we were like, oh, maybe it's done, like nobody's gonna call us no more. So like it was literally like maybe an hour that we hadn't gotten one. So we literally said that and my phone started ringing. And I was like, what the fuck? And it wasn't like it was like creepy, like unknown numbers. They were numbers you could call back. So I was like, okay. So I answered, and it literally sounded so fucking creepy. Like I could not comprehend what they were saying. I'm pretty sure they were like, do you have it? That's the only thing I remember. And they were talking, and their voice was like all twisted, and it was echoing, and it was really fucking creepy. And the thing is my phone started like. It was fucking, the only reason it was creepy was, like, I was fucking freaked out before I even got the phone call because I said that and my phone started vibrating. And I was like, why is my phone vibrating? Because nothing was calling my phone. And it did that for like 15 seconds. And then the phone call came through. So that was kind of freaky. And it literally was so creepy the way the guy sounded. And I could not understand what he was saying. I hung up. It like sounded like if you were in hell, like what it would sound like in hell. Type of creepy like voices and shit. So I was so scared. And then I remember, the only other thing I remember from that day was we were in the kitchen and we had heard noises from like outside my door. So if you go outside my door, because I live in an apartment, so we're on the 3rd floor. So there's my door, and then you walk out the door and there's stairs. But right here, there's a storage room, so you can go in there and it's another room. So we heard noises. So we opened the door and we were standing in front of the door to the storage room. So we were like fucking so scared. I was like, open the door, Abby. She was like, no, I'm not gonna open the door, you open the door. So I legit went to go turn the handle, and I heard noises like banging inside there, like says something like fell over or something, and my fucking heart dropped. And we ran in, shut the door, locked the door. We were so scared. And like since then I have no fucking idea what was happening. But we never got phone calls after that. We never we just literally everything stopped. And nothing creepy has gone on since then. Like I don't want to jinx it because I've had like creepy paranormal shit happen to me in my house before. Like I think like around that time that had happened, we were talking and watching like paranormal videos. So maybe I'm like paranoid, and me and my sister were like arguing or something, and she was like, I'm going to bed. So she went down on her bottom bunk, And I remember waking up in the middle of the night and my whole bed was just shaking. And it wasn't like it was an earthquake or like I moved and the bed shook. Like I literally woke up and my bed was just going like this. Like moving. It was like I don't know how to explain it, just fucking shaking. And maybe it was a dream. Pretty sure it was not, but it was just fucking shaking and it would not stop. And I was so scared. I just closed my eyes and went to sleep. And I literally passed out like right then and there because I was like so scared. Like I was like, oh, whatever is fucking happening, I don't want to fuck with it. I just want to go to sleep. And I was like, hopefully nothing will happen. I went to sleep and I woke up in the morning, it was fine. I asked my sister, I was like, did you feel shaking last night? And she was like, no. I was like, okay. So let me know if you want to hear any more stories. Really stories about anything. If I have a story, I'll tell you. Let me know. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment,